What's up, guys? So this is my first video, and what I want to do here is that I want to make clips and show you guys how I do it. And I mean, it's super simple, but if you ever come across my video because either you make content, long form content, and you want to make clips for putting it on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, you can do it here. Or if somebody hired you and you got to figure it out, right? It is super easy. And the way I do it, to be honest, I don't do a lot of special effects. I don't do, zoom in, zoom out. I mean, maybe I'll go the extra effort, but for about a whole year, I did 2 shorts a day. It was for somebody who was in a crypto community, and he wanted 2 shorts a day because he would go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so we would have enough content to make 2 clips a day. Mind you, I had to clean up a lot of audio. So what I'm using here is OBS. So this is another feature. If you guys ever want to use, I thought like you only had to use Loom. And then of course I asked ChatGPT and it said, you can use OBS. And I said, great, because you know why? I'm kind of familiar with it because I'm actually inside of a studio right now. That's where I work. So part of the things that we offer to clients is doing clips. So this is day one of me showing how, or what I do. And anybody watching this that has any kind of experience, it's like, really, I could do way better than that. Yeah, you probably could, and do what you're doing. But for people who are like brand new to making clips, this is what I'm going to show. And I'm hoping to do 1 of these a day because it's something I like doing. I love editing, and the program that I use makes it even easier. So imagine you have an hour long of footage, and then you have to go in there, watch it, and say, okay, I like these pieces, right? Yes, you can do that, but then also there's AI tools out there that you can use. And what I prefer is Opus Clips. And let's just, I have a lot of tabs up here, but I was testing my screen and audio, and I went ahead and brought up some Miss Rachel. So let's go over. Okay, so we're on YouTube, right? And what I want to do is just practice because it makes perfect. Well, never just perfect. There's always, you're going to have clients or people, or even you have your own style. And the person putting the clips together, whether they're editing long form or short form, they are the artist, right? Or the creator. And they have their own ways of doing things. So this is just like, maybe like, yeah, a tutorial, but also why do I pick certain things over the other? So let's just search podcasts. And I'm pretty sure some people are going to come up, that are huge. Yep. This guy, Jay Shetty, Diary of the CEO, Mel Robbins is a huge one. Joe Rogan, of course. But let's see. Let's pick somebody that is maybe not so huge, because they already have their own clips. So yeah, maybe going to do Andrew Tate, right? Okay, so what I would do, let's open up Opus Clip. All right, so open up Opus Clips. Okay, my dashboard. Let's see. So Opus Clips keeps, I forget how many days. I think 30 days. Yeah, 30 days they keep whatever project you're working on. So you go back to YouTube. Okay, then you click in the browser. Hope you guys can see that. Let me make sure. This is my first time, guys. Okay. All right, so browser, copy, go over to Opus Clips, and paste. Okay. There's a bunch of features here. Opus Clips also does Opus Agents. I haven't got to know that much, and that I think you can do like animations, or you could really do just a lot of AI stuff. Here's my opinion of AI. AI is a really good tool, and for people that just want AI videos or pictures for their social media, great. If they want to build an audience and gain trust, which, I mean, these AI accounts do, get big. But for people who want to, like, I don't know, build a community and they want to show that through the screen, right? They want to show real people, and like this, right? I mean, they want to show people that they can relate to, and who none other than Andrew Tate, right? I'm not saying I'm a fan or anything. I just chose this randomly, okay? And then this is gonna download. It's gonna get to 100%, and then we'll come back, okay? Okay, we are back. So that took maybe a little less than 10 minutes. I didn't realize how long this video was. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. So should be a lot of good clips in here. Also, it took away quite a bit of credits. So you see I have 305. I knew I had over like 400 when we started, and I forgot to check. But yeah, again, so here you would drop in the YouTube link. So that makes it really easy. If your client's stuff is already on YouTube, or if they have the raw footage, you just go here to the upload. Sometimes you'll see up here that they're having issues with uploads. When I used to do clips for the crypto guy, he would go live and he would use StreamYard. So sometimes we would have to take the footage from StreamYard and put it in here. But I mean, it makes it really easy. And then you see these options here. I never click on any of this. I'm showing you like what I do, what's easy, what's basic. When things get too complicated, I get overwhelmed. And I've gone through maybe a couple of these videos when I first started. But yeah, so let's click into it. And then you're gonna have, so what Opus Clips does, and it's AI, it gives you a suggested title. And then here it gives you a preview of a transcript of what he's saying. And then from here, it will tell you like the score, right? Because number one, that's like the most like best thing that he said, okay? So this one, let's see, let's scroll all the way down. Yeah, it gives you quite a bit. Yeah, I mean 51, and it's still at a 91%. So just to give you an idea, when I did the live stream, there was a lot of cleaning up that I had to do. He would cough, or he would just say he had a issue with what's that thing called, dyslexia. So he would say things backwards, so I always had to go back and fix it. So this, depending on whose video you're working on, it might be really great, or it might be a lot of work to fix. But I've heard Andrew Tate talk before, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of cleaning up to do. So you can click on here to get a preview of the video. Yeah, I get that. All right, let's see the second one. Okay, so just to look at this one is an hour and 45 seconds. I like to keep my clips no more than a minute for TikTok. So I used to do my clips for TikTok. No, when it was the live stream, they would all go to YouTube. So YouTube Shorts. And yeah, just YouTube Shorts. But anyways, for me, I don't want to go anything past a minute. Everybody has their thoughts on, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It's up to you, really. But I try to make it no more than a minute. So this one, we have to cut down quite a bit. So let's just go to the first one because I'm gonna make a clip for this. And when we come back the next day, I'll make a clip on the next one. So here he's talking about, how social media maybe could be negative, right? So the title is Break Free from Algorithms, Reclaim Your Digital Power. So if you go in, just hit edit, clip, and then you can play it here. You have the timeline down here. I use this down here quite a bit because when there's pauses. And for me with short form, what I noticed, what makes it a really good edit is that there's not a whole lot of gaps in between talk, right? So you can look at this and then play it and see, would it make sense for you to bring words closer together? Okay. So I think, yeah, definitely you can bring the words together down here, here, even here. But then here he says bro. And I would keep that, right? So a few things here. Well, one thing, when this is just one long clip, because you'll see like probably in that minute and 45 seconds, it will come in different clips down here in the timeline. But this one is, so you can come here and you can move these letters more up here, because when you post it, you don't want the letters too far down or else it's going to be maybe hard to see. And as long as it's just him, right? So it's just him and you know that he's not really going to move his head a whole bunch, you can put it exactly like right under his head. Here, you can choose to have highlighted. So as he says everybody, it's yellow. So you see these colors here are just different highlights, and AI just does that by himself. If you don't want it, you just click off of here and it will just stay white. Here is the font settings. You can do all uppercase. When I did mine, I would just take this highlighter off and then I would just mess around with its fonts. I would try a font for a while, or I would try maybe a different color for a while, and maybe I would switch it up. But here too, you can edit. You can edit this however you want. Algorithms are making us digital eunuchs. Would I change that? No, I don't think so. And me making this video, with me making this video, I'm not too concerned about that. Meaning my hair, when I'm making this video and I'm knowing that I'm trying to explain something, I'm not really focused on making those kind of changes. I just want to show you the possibilities of this. Here in the AI Enhance, you can remove filler words. So when I told you that I was cleaning up a bit with the guy I worked with, he's making that crypto content, he was always saying, and I might be saying, all the time too, and I apologize, I'm working on my public speaking. But he would say just a lot of filler words, and here's a really good way to clean that up. And there's no filler words, he didn't say any, right? Pauses. So to clean that up without you having to go in there and split it and bring them together, you can remove the pauses. And the pauses will be here, right? So this one says 8.8 seconds. He's got a pause here, 1 second pause here. So you can just remove pauses. Boom, right there. So you can go back and you see if you like that. The thing with AI is, even though you have AI, it makes life easier. It makes you more efficient, saves time, but I feel like right now, there's always got to be a human element. There's always a human element in the beginning of a project and at the end. I listened to this podcast today and they were talking about AI, and they said that the more AI you have in your business or in your systems, the more somebody has to really manage that, because it's not perfect. So it might close up a gap for a pause, but then it might leave the end of, or it might leave the beginning of a word, or it might cut off the end of something that he said. So you have to go in and still fix that. auto censor. You can have auto censor. I don't remember. I think it was. So I used to make clips also for another person that was in crypto, but I was kind of like just making that page on my own. Nobody was paying me, and he would cuss a lot. And I think it was TikTok that just you can't say retard, you can't say, you know, cuss words. And I don't know if I have to take that word out, but of my YouTube. But usually, however, if you have a long form content, like YouTube won't really say anything. But if you're making a clip, let's say, and this one's only going to be 12 seconds long, if you like say it, especially in the first few seconds, they're not going to like it. So also this too, I think I'm going to bring this down just a little bit, make it like right there. I like it. Okay. So let's go back. So if you want to make any edits here, text overlay settings. Okay. You can change the alignment. Okay. So go back to captions here. Any effects you want to do, if you want to do automatically just top, yeah, go top, middle, but here. So when you make an edit in one, like I said, one clip, it might not fix it there. See, it moved. So just to go back, I was just wanting to show you an example. I'm just going to go back. Okay, you can keep going back. Right, okay, let's go forward because I want to pause this out. Okay. So, effects. I don't know, it's all about preference. It really is. But whenever I did clips, I always liked one line. That's just me. I think it looks better. Other people are different. Underline, yeah, you can change the font size here. It's effects, so you can make it pop. Again, I don't really like, okay, so what's happening here is it is changing and it's going up and down. So I want to make that consistent. So how you would highlight everything like that, and then you can like move that. And then now everything should be the same. Okay. So I don't know if my eyes are playing with me, but I was like, is that a different size in these? But effects. So I don't really like the pop. I don't know if, okay, none, right? So you can hit none. You can do bounce, you can do underline, you can do scale where it gets bigger, I think. Yeah. Honestly, like, to make it even more simple, and when you make something, you can put a preset. And it's funny because I never really, I guess, learn how to save a preset. So I always go in and I always change it. But if somebody's watching and has any suggestions, go ahead, feel free to leave any comment. On the next video, I will respond to comments. But yeah, so no captions. I think this is probably this one. And I think that looks pretty clean. Right? You can go in here and switch it up if you want. But I spend a lot of time in this area with like, with the fonts. I just want to see color. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I like this, especially because he's wearing all black. It's just white letters. It looks really great, right? And what I like about Opus Clips too is that I imported a video and it looks still like a 4K video. Here, if you wanted to change where he's at, or if you want to, yeah, so you can change that here if you want. Sometimes when there's two people side by side and you want to switch it to the other person, like they're over here, you can do that. Okay. But yeah, so, I mean, I showed you a little bit. B-roll, if you want B-roll, it will cost you credits. But if he's talking about something that's revolutionary, maybe AI will pick something that depicts something revolutionary. You don't have to. I don't. I used to do that in the beginning when I started making clips, and I mean, it's AI generated B-roll, but you can also put in your own B-roll if you had. Like if you had some B-roll of Andrew Tate, you could do that. But yeah, this is pretty easy. So let's go back and listen to it. Okay, so I think this was a good cut here. So I think the word the came in too fast, so I would probably just put a little bit of a gap there, so you can go back and see. Yeah, see how it like here Ben came too fast, right? So I just put a little bit of more of a gap. Like close your eyes and listen to it and see what makes sense. Like listen to what makes sense, right? So let's go back again and see if that sounds better. Like I think that is fine. Some people might do something else. Here you can make the timeline zoom in a little bit, because sometimes it will catch, like I said, a word, a little bit of another word that's coming up. So you can come here and it says, okay, you see this little right here? So you can play it. Okay, you hear it went like a little click. You can actually take that out. And I love looking at timelines. I never look at this part. It's always about the audio part, because then you can really see like, okay, let's see how that sounds. Okay, so I needed that, right? Let's see when he starts that. All right. So I think that's probably a good gap. I'm gonna go back, and I actually, let's see, I'll take that part out, and then let me just a little bit here. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, put that gap back, and then I'm gonna put this here, because he's finishing saying unique. Okay, so we do need it. Okay. And I'm not saying that if I had a client, this would be like spectacular. I can show you where you can add. So if you wanted to, if he's talking about asserting something and you want to keep going with what he's saying, if he has anything more inspirational to say, you can highlight here and then you can play this, and it will play from 42 to 50. What I also do is I go back to the original like YouTube video, and you can go back to this timestamp, and sometimes it makes it easier to be able to go back and forth. It's up to you, but you can do it here. So you can see, okay, so what is he going to say after bro? Okay, so for me, I wouldn't add that. It's just you just got to know like what is too much, and I think that 12-second clip is just good enough. You can spend time in here and look for other things, right? So let's take this. Let's see what he says here. Okay, so if you lose your spot, so your clip is highlighted in white, but if you lose your spot, you can always just close out and then go back. So we didn't like this. Okay. So for some reason, because I'm using a laptop and I'm using a Mac, going from bottom to top is easier. So let's see what he says here. So yeah, I mean, making shorts on Andrew Tate from a, I'm not saying I agree with things that he says. I'm just making clips. But as somebody who's very controversial, you have to think like people are gonna watch that just to see what kind of stuff comes out of his mouth, you know. But yeah, so this clip would be done, and it's that easy. I know it's like a lengthy explanation. This is my first video. Maybe they will go faster in the future. But yeah, here you could put media if you want. If you had like your own, let's say your own. I used to put this. So if anyone knows who Richard Hurt is, I would put this on there. Okay, yeah, that's a timeline. So I put that there, and then if you have that, you can make it smaller. Yeah, you think you have to bring it? No, actually, don't remember how I did that. Actually, I didn't do it on here. I did that on. Oh. Okay, yeah. So you can do that, but then also make sure that it's a transparent photo. But I actually used to do double work. I used to go on CapCut, so I would take this file to CapCut and I would put that in there. For some reason, it was easier for me because, I mean, I can show you really quick, but I would leave this in CapCut, and then every time I brought a file over to work on, I would just erase the old one and put it new, and then it would just kind of like, it would just stay on there, so I didn't have to click it every time. Again, I'm sure you can make presets on here. I just, like, it maybe going to CapCut is just another layer, it's just an extra step. But whatever, like, I'm in flow and that works for me, I stick with it, okay? So if you guys can learn how to make presets, I'm sure there's YouTube channels out there and there's videos in here on Opus Clips that tells you how to do it, but that was just me. So let's go back out. And yep, there's B-roll here. Like if you have branding colors, you can do that there. If you want to put transitions in, you can put that there. You want to put added text, music. I don't touch any of those stuff. The only two things I touch is captions and that. If, let's say for some reason, there's a word and AI picked up a different word and they spelled it wrong, you can go here and you can do edit. So then it will tell you how many times the word scrolling is in this video. And then you can change it once or you can change it for all. So there's, okay, yeah. So this, if you wanted to censor this, yep. So once, just for that one time, or for all of them. So yeah, so if you want to go here, I think if you censor it, it will, yeah, so it would just do that for you on its own. So undo censoring, but yeah, if you want to edit the word, yep, you could just do that here and make your own word. But that's it. So I will show you guys another time if another video comes up where there's two people talking, but you can also change the layout. So this is on fill, you can hit fit, you can do split. But because there's no other person in that video, you know, you don't want to do it here, of course, but there's more than two people. You could do three, you could do four. Gameplay, that's what that looks like. So if they're playing a game on the bottom and they're on top, cool. But for now, I mean, I barely change anything here. Sometimes I'll change the, like, where he's positioned. But other than that, yeah. See how it like changed because I did that. And then, yeah, dude, that the undo button is great because I've made mistakes. And but yeah, so I don't export from here. I save changes. And then it just takes time to kind of save the changes. And then you can export. I always export from this page. See, so it saved that way. So you can go back and edit, and it saved. Yeah, go back to fill. And I mean, honestly, I've had, since working with Opus Clips, maybe there's, I want to say maybe even less than a handful of times where that happened to me. I saved it and I had to go back into a video and it didn't save. Sometimes you might have to go in and out of the video. Like it saved it on the back end, but it won't show here. So you have to like go back and forth and go back to the edited clip, go back out, and then sometimes you can get the work that you did done. But I know I probably worked on a minute video where I had to make a lot of edits and cuts, and for some reason it didn't save, and I was like, really? Like, I gotta do that. So this is how you know when it's done. You just download it, and it downloads to your computer. You can publish on social media from here, apparently. I've never done it. I don't download 4K. Actually, that's kind of a new thing. And yeah. So that's it. Tomorrow we can go over another video, but that's it for now. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, if you're new to clipping, let me know. I can help you out. But until then, till next time, I am Pablo. Keep following, keep watching videos until you're proficient in it and you can move on. But yeah, thanks for coming and see you next time.